The call was from my husband. He said he was on a business trip. What's going on? He seemed quite flustered and hardly listened to what I was saying. I need to go back home because Mom collapsed. What? But your mom is. You don't need to come. I'll call if anything else happens. He was insistent. The call ended abruptly. What is he trying to do by telling such a lie? His mother collapsed? That can't be right. Because right now, his parents are here with me. When I told his mother about the call, she sighed deeply. We should keep it a secret that we're with you. That foolish son. What is he thinking? Both in-laws were clearly exasperated. Of course, I felt the same way. I'm fed up with my husband's lies. Something needs to be done. After that, at my mother-in-law's suggestion, we decided to set a trap for him. My name is Ava. I'm 35 years old. I work in the office of an insurance company. I'm a workaholic, recognized by others, and I lived single until my 30s. A turning point in my life came when I was 33. I met Tyler through a friend's introduction. Nice to meet you. Working for a major company, that's cool. I really admire that. I wish I could be like you. White teeth. A bright smile. His expressions changed often. I thought he was an interesting person. We got married after dating for 6 months. We decided to live together. His parents, who live in the neighboring state, are a bright couple, much like my husband. They treated me very well during the wedding ceremony. I was worried Tyler might never get married. It's really good that he found you, Ava. Absolutely. Thank you, Ava. I'm the one who's grateful. I look forward to getting along well with you. Let's get along well with these people as family. My family home is in a rather rural area, and I can't see my parents often. Instead, I'll show my appreciation to my in-laws. That's what I was thinking. However, after marriage, my husband confided in me with a surprising truth. In fact, he has been on bad terms with his parents for many years. Moreover, it turns out his parents don't think highly of me. There's a lot going on. They're difficult people. Really? I didn't feel that way. They seemed like a close-knit family. My parents are much more distant. Anyway, from now on, I want you to not contact my family without going through me. Okay? Okay. My in-laws don't think highly of me? But they were so friendly? I was shocked and didn't want to discuss it further. That's when I started to doubt my husband's actions. He's always glued to his phone and seems distracted when I talk to him. It's as if he's always thinking about something else and I'm not in his thoughts. There's a saying, you don't feed the fish once you've caught them, and it's exactly that. Hey, Tyler. Hey. Are you listening? What? Oh, sorry. What's up? About where we're going on our next day off. Pay attention. I've been calling you for a while. Next off. Oh, sorry. I got work that day. Really sorry. I'll make it up to you soon. I've been spending fewer weekends with my husband lately. It's because he's increasingly absent due to sudden business trips or working on holidays. He works as a salesperson for a trading company. I understand that he's busy. But isn't he too busy? Honestly, I had my doubts. His business trips and working on holidays might be complete lies, and he could actually be meeting another woman. Once I started to suspect, several dubious things began to come to mind. Hey Tyler, lately it seems like the gas in the car is running out quickly. Why? Did you have any reason to travel far? Oh, is it running out quickly? Maybe because I drive to work every time. Also, I noticed on the credit card statement, did you buy a woman's bag? What's that about? Oh, you see, my boss asked me to. It was supposed to be a gift for his daughter, and I bought it for him because he doesn't know how to shop online. There are other things I want to press him on. But I haven't asked everything yet. I don't want to give him any hints and have him destroy the evidence. car GPS history, names that show up on his phone, the scent of perfume wafting from him. After considering all the information, I concluded that my husband is definitely having an affair. Who could the other woman be? I let my husband do as he pleases while I secretly started gathering information. I've been instructed by my husband to always go through him when contacting his parents. Ever since we got married, that's what he's told me. After much thought, I decided to defy his orders. I thought that if I did as told, I wouldn't be able to outsmart him. When I discussed my concerns, my mother-in-law responded eagerly in a lively voice. I was worried because you hadn't contacted us at all. And you know, Tyler said so. It's been difficult to reach out from here. What did Tyler say exactly? Why is it difficult to contact? Well, you see, Tyler told us that you find us difficult to deal with. Is that so? What? I never said such a thing. This is definitely wrong. Distorted information has been passed along. Why is this misunderstanding occurring? Thinking this might be the case, I asked my mother-in-law. So, you find me difficult to deal with, right? That's what Tyler has told me. That's why he said I should always go through him when contacting you. What? There's no way I find you difficult. Unbelievable. Tyler has been deceiving us. My husband has been manipulating the information to keep me and his parents apart. But why? What could be the reason my husband goes through such trouble? That day, I learned various things about my husband from my mother-in-law. Actually, it's odd for a parent to say this, but Tyler has always been like this. He tells lies that are easily caught, just to get by the moment. Seems like he hasn't grown up at all. So, he's been like this since he was a child? Lying, what is he really up to? It's probably something I'd rather not say, but maybe it's about the perfume scent you noticed or the name of a woman that appeared on his phone. So, Tyler is having an affair, right? My mother-in-law and I reached the same conclusion. She apologized to me, saying her son was sorry. At this point, I can't be choosy about the methods, I must gather information. I discussed with my mother-in-law and decided to thoroughly investigate my husband's affair. Afterward, my husband's behavior, unbeknownst to him, escalated. He said he had to work on holidays or go on sudden business trips, leaving home almost every weekend. Of course, I wasn't just silently watching. I thought I had done everything possible. I identified destinations from the car navigation history and even asked my father-in-law to do a little investigation. Hello? Is that you, Ava? Just as you asked, I pretended to be a business associate and called Tyler's company. I hate to say it, but it turned out as expected. Thank you. So, Tyler really wasn't on a business trip? Yes. I checked multiple times. There's no mistake. Tyler hasn't been on a business trip at all. Not even once since he joined the company. I knew it. I thought it was strange because there was no change in the salary statement for the months he claimed to have business trips. Thank you for the investigation and for getting in touch. I'm sorry for such a foolish son. My father-in-law apologized to me, just like my mother-in-law. Frankly, I think the in-laws and I are the same victims. We were deceived by my husband and made to believe false information. We continued to secretly exchange information and conduct investigations behind my husband's back. An astonishing fact was discovered about 6 months after we started the investigation. What? Tyler has 2 mistresses? Is that true? Yes, it seems there's no mistake. That's what the investigation from the detective agency said. Tyler has 2 partners, and one of them is even married. I can't believe it! One bad truth after another was revealed. Unaware of this, my husband was frivolously cheerful. What should I do with him going forward? The word divorce started swirling around in my head. About 2 months later, my husband said he was going on a business trip again. This time it was slightly longer, lasting a week. Another flimsy lie. On a whim, I asked for more details. Where exactly are you going on this business trip? Can you tell me what kind of work you'll be doing, just for reference? What? Well, I can't really give specifics. Sorry. There's a confidentiality obligation. Do you think it's right that a wife doesn't know where her husband is or what he's doing? What kind of secrets can't you share with your wife? Normally, that's unthinkable. No, that's how it is. At least in our company. What's up, Ava? It's not like you to be so persistent. I'm supposed to stay quiet without asking anything. That night, just then, a woman's name appeared on my husband's phone. He quickly grabbed his phone. I almost burst out laughing. It seemed he didn't realize I had seen the screen. Then he said he was going out. I got a call from a friend from college. I'm going out. There seems to be some trouble, so I might stay over there. Oh, really? Hey, is that friend a guy? Of course. I'll be going then. My husband hurriedly got ready and left. After he left, I quietly started packing. I couldn't bear to live with such a liar anymore. I couldn't ignore the cries within me. Exactly 1 week after my husband left for his business trip, the day before he was supposed to return, I was out shopping in town with my in-laws. Actually, we occasionally meet like this to shop and eat while exchanging information about my husband and discussing what to do next. As we were heading back to the car after finishing shopping, I received a call from my husband. Hello? Ava, it's serious. Mom collapsed, so I'm heading back home. What? But your mom is. You don't need to come. I'll call if anything else happens. He was adamant and hung up after just telling me that. What is he trying to do with such a lie? Mom collapsed? No way, that can't be. Because right now, both my mother-in-law and father-in-law are right here with me. When I told them about the call, both my mother-in-law and father-in-law sighed deeply. We should keep it a secret that we're together. That foolish son. What is he thinking? What could he be thinking, really? Honestly, I can't keep up with Tyler anymore. Right. I'm really sorry, Ava. We need to give that foolish son a tough lesson. Both my mother-in-law and father-in-law seemed completely exasperated. Of course, I felt the same way. I'm fed up with my husband's lies. Something had to be done. Afterwards, at my mother-in-law's suggestion, we decided to set a trap for my husband. Fortunately, we were always aware of his whereabouts. We had gathered plenty of evidence. There was no escape for him. My victory was assured. One Sunday, I asked my mother-in-law to call my husband out. The location was a small cafe in town. I watched from behind a screen. My husband arrived a bit late, but he seemed no different than usual. He was smiling as always. Hey Mom, long time no see. What's up? What did you want to talk about? Just a little something. I actually wanted Ava to be here too. Oh, Ava can't make it. You know what I always say, right? She seems to have a hard time dealing with you and Dad. She would have surely found some excuse to decline. My husband lied effortlessly, as if it were as natural as breathing. What a person. That's how he had been deceiving us. I couldn't see his face from here, but he must be smiling. You could tell by his voice. I wonder what my mother-in-law felt, facing her lying son. With a heavy sigh, my mother-in-law looked straight at him and demanded the truth. Lies are eventually exposed. Haven't I taught you that since you were little? You can't deceive me. And certainly not Dad either. What? What are you talking about all of a sudden? The real truth? Are you saying I'm lying? Why would you say that? You told Ava that I had collapsed, didn't you? What? Well... My husband turned his face away from my mother-in-law with a small click of his tongue. From behind the screen where I was sitting, I could see my husband's behavior clearly. He must have thought that I had broken our agreement and contacted my mother-in-law on my own. My husband quickly regained his usual composure and began to repair his fraying lie. No, that's not it. I just remembered clearly. It was a misunderstanding on my part. A misunderstanding? That I had collapsed? Yes. It was actually a friend's mother who had collapsed. She's a very important friend's parent, so I ended up speaking as if it were my own parent. What a pathetic excuse. Isn't he embarrassed saying that? My mother-in-law already looked exasperated. I couldn't help but sigh as well. But did you explain that to Ava? You didn't, did you? That's why she was worried and contacted me. I just forgot to tell her. Sorry. I'll make sure to contact her when I get home, so it's not a problem. You don't have to do anything, Mom. Ava wouldn't like it. My husband continued to answer my mother-in-law's questions with lies. Within his lies, I became emotionally unstable and even fell ill. According to him, I am a person who is difficult to deal with because of mental and physical illnesses. That's why he wanted my mother-in-law not to contact me directly. What a terrible lie. Tyler. I didn't raise you to be a liar. How did it come to this? What? Liar? That's harsh. When have I ever lied? How are my words lies? What do you mean? Everything. It's ridiculous to even count how many lies you've told. Ava, when did you get there? My sudden appearance shocked my husband. He almost jumped out of his chair, his eyes darting around in panic. Of course, I wasn't in the mood to laugh. I sat down next to my mother-in-law. Just so you know, Tyler, most of your lies have been exposed. What were you planning to do by keeping Ava and me from contacting each other? Explain yourself using your own words. Well, I mean, nothing specific. Shall I explain then? You wanted to use me as an excuse to avoid having to go home, didn't you? The moment she pointed it out, my husband turned pale. She had hit the nail on the head. Using the long holidays freely. That was my husband's main goal in estranging me from my in-laws. When long weekends came, he would pretend to go home alone and meet his mistress. That way, he could enjoy his affairs without being disturbed by his parents or me. You understand now, right? Both your mother and I know everything. Tyler has been deceiving us, just to have his fun with affairs. No, that's not it. It's a misunderstanding. I haven't been unfaithful. You're both mistaken. Mistaken? In what way exactly? Explain yourself. And make sure you don't lie, okay? I pulled out my phone. I opened the voice recorder app. I intended to record everything my husband said. My actions seemed to have startled him. His eyes were darting around. He seemed to be considering the disadvantages of lying. His attitude clearly showed how he always comes up with lies on the spot. I was just acting as Cupid for a friend. Cupid? You mean you were trying to match your friend with someone? Yes. That's right. But, you know, if I'm introducing someone, I have to know the other person well, right? So, you're saying you were meeting with this woman you were supposed to introduce, just the two of you? Nothing but lies. It's not a lie. My husband was desperate to defend himself. It was becoming unbearably embarrassing to be in his company. Maybe it would be better to wrap this conversation up quickly. When I signaled to my mother-in-law with my eyes, she called someone on her phone. Soon, my father-in-law arrived at the cafe with two women. My husband turned pale when he saw them. No wonder. The women who came were both his mistresses. One was Emily, a junior at his company, and the other was Lisa, the wife of a client. Could you both please sit at the table next to us? Tyler, don't just stay silent. Don't you have something to say? Why are these two here? I talked to both of them directly and arranged for them to come here today. I'll say it again, Tyler, isn't there something you should be saying? I don't know. Don't know? What does that even mean? I felt my blood boiling. He should be apologizing to me first. Sorry for the affair. Why can't he say that? Tyler, please explain clearly. You promised to divorce your wife and marry me, right? No, that's... Emily, just wait a moment. Tyler, you also need to explain about the money you borrowed from me. When are you going to repay it? What if my husband finds out? Money. Tyler, you borrowed money from her? For what? To keep your affairs hidden? It seemed I had hit the mark again. Tyler bit his lip and looked down. It was too late for him to concoct any more lies. It seemed he had given up on everything. Terrible. You must have really enjoyed your affairs. How long have these relationships been going on? With Emily, it started shortly after we got married. With Lisa, it's been since before we were married, from our student days. I'm appalled. Lisa, you've been his high school classmate, right? You've had a relationship since then? Even after getting married? Sorry. I'm already married, and I've tried to end it several times, but Tyler really didn't want to. He just wanted to play money, right? Lisa's husband is wealthy. Tyler had been extracting money from Lisa. He needed the money to enjoy his time with Emily. Pretending to be on business trips, they had enjoyed many short trips together. Wait a minute. Since when has Ava been in contact with Dad and Mom? It's been quite a while. Sorry. Despite Tyler's instructions that I should always go through him when I want to contact your parents. He said the same thing to them about me. Don't contact Ava directly. Always go through me first. This liar. Aren't you ashamed as a person? Didn't you think that if you lie, it would eventually come out? Cornered by everyone, Tyler was at a loss for words. He couldn't respond to anything. I decided to block his escape routes while I could. Working on holidays and sudden business trips were all lies. Right? Tell the truth. Yes. They were lies. You wouldn't know, but I've called your company several times to ask. I asked them to tell me where Tyler was traveling to. The person on the phone seemed puzzled. Called the company? You went that far? Scenes of Tyler and Emily entering a hotel. Scenes of Tyler dining and drinking with Lisa. We laid out all the collected evidence photos of the affair on the table. My husband was now pale as a ghost. He looked like a fish out of water, unable to speak. Should I bring out more evidence of the affair? I even know when and which hotels Tyler visited. Why would you go to such lengths? Did you hire a detective or something? It wasn't a detective, I hired a private investigator. Also, I put a GPS in his luggage, so I could know where he was at all times. Unaware, he went to hotels with his mistress, went out to eat, and even took trips. Despite all being known, he lied. Truly, what an embarrassing son. My mother-in-law shook her head sadly. My husband was almost in tears from being berated. It was about time. I presented the divorce papers in front of my pitiful husband. Here, just sign these quickly. What? You're divorcing me? Why? Why not? I can't get along with a liar. I can't trust you. It's only natural, isn't it? No, don't throw it away. I don't want a divorce. I'll change, I promise. Please reconsider. Reacting to my husband's pleas was Emily, one of his mistresses. This is unbelievable. She stood up, knocking her chair over. Her eyes were bloodshot, and her face was as red as a demon's. She was furious. That's absolutely wrong. You promised me. You said you'd divorce your wife and marry me, right? Are you planning to abandon me and our unborn child? A child? Tyler, you got her pregnant. Could it be that the reason you were so panicked the other time was because you found out about Ms. Emily's pregnancy? Well, my husband's guilty expression said it all. Unbelievable. He had even fathered a child with his mistress. And here he was, trying to cling to me, with his pregnant mistress right in front of me. My in-laws and Lisa, another mistress, were just as appalled by Tyler's irresponsibility. Unbelievable. No wonder you didn't want to have a child with me. No, I did want to have children with you, Ava. Don't lie. You always made excuses about being tired or busy, rejecting me. Because you already had a child, you didn't need another, right? What an embarrassing son, really. Emily, pressing him to take responsibility. Lisa, glaring at him to repay the money she lent. My in-laws' cold looks, and I was too dumbfounded to speak. Tyler was completely surrounded. It seemed he was at a loss for what to do. Answer me. How are you going to take responsibility? You can't just ignore the fact that there's a child involved. But, about the divorce with Ava, that's a bit. Because Ava works for a multinational company and makes good money, right? Be honest. A money issue. Are you saying you're throwing away your responsibilities as a father for that reason? Tyler, you're really the worst. Tyler was profusely apologizing to everyone present. But apologies were all he offered. The in-laws, I, and even the mistresses, we all wanted clarity on what would happen next. Let me make this clear, I have no intention of continuing this marriage. I will definitely divorce. Be prepared for that. No. Look, Ava, I really am sorry. Don't even think about relying on your parents for money. I'm not going to take care of you. You need to take responsibility for your actions. You're an adult, that's expected. Even Mom. What is this? Is everyone enjoying pushing me away? Stop it. He acted as if he was the biggest victim. His parents seemed displeased with his behavior. After a moment of silence, his father sternly scolded him. What kind of attitude is that? Who do you think you are? You're the one at fault here. Reflect on your actions properly. Yes. I'll get a divorce from Ava. I'll take responsibility for the child Emily is carrying. I'll repay the money I borrowed from Lisa. First, promise all these things right here. We'll talk after that. Yes. I promise. My husband slumped dejectedly. When I pushed the divorce papers toward him, he signed them reluctantly. His parents apologized to me again. Ava, I'm really sorry for our foolish son. Come on, Tyler. What are you spacing out for? You should be the first to apologize to Ava. Ava, I'm really sorry. Emily and Lisa, I'm sorry too. I'll take full responsibility. It's only right. I have a child in my belly. Make sure to pay back all the money you borrowed. Do it by tomorrow. I don't want to get in trouble with my husband. I'm counting on you. I also firmly demanded alimony from the two mistresses. Neither of them complained about my declaration. It seems they too intend to take full responsibility. The pathetic one is my husband. He walked away, nudged by my father-in-law. It goes without saying that I went straight to the lawyer to submit the divorce papers. As planned, after the discussion, I immediately moved to a new residence. My former in-laws are wonderful people. Even after the divorce, they continued to care for me. They checked if I liked my new place, if I had any troubles, and if there was anything they could help with. After discussing various matters, they also told me about what had happened to my ex-husband. It seems Tyler is having a really tough time at work. Since his affair was with a junior at his company, it's all his own doing. Is that so? I expected as much, but I guess his colleagues are giving him the cold shoulder, aren't they? Yes. And since it turned out that the story about the child was a lie, it's made things even worse. It was a lie! Was it Emily who said she was pregnant? Was that whole pregnancy story just a lie? They wanted to get me divorced from my ex-husband as soon as possible. Thinking that way, he lied. My ex-husband, who had often lied, ended up being tormented by his own lies. It's what you might call poetic justice. It's no wonder my former mother-in-law was exasperated. And one more thing about Lisa. Tyler did manage to pay back his debt, but it seems her husband found out about the affair. No way! That's right. It looks like they're getting divorced. She could have been a wealthy wife, but just like Tyler, Lisa was foolish, very foolish. Her husband was apparently very angry. Lisa had to pay a large amount of alimony. Now she's working at a small bar, slowly paying off her debts. A pitiful end for a mistress. Even though I felt vindicated, I couldn't bring myself to feel sympathy. Tyler and Emily were even more pitiful. They had become completely isolated within the company. It seems no colleagues were willing to deal with a liar. Tyler and Emily had to work while being scorned. But they couldn't quit easily. Because they had debts. They might as well continue working in that thorny environment and regret it. Nothing notable has changed in my life after the divorce. I just returned to the same environment I had before I was married and am living a normal life. If anything has changed, it's that my colleagues have been unusually kind to me. And I've entered into a special relationship with a handsome client representative. He too had gone through a divorce and intended to stay single for the foreseeable future. When he proposed redate, I accepted. It was a welcome proposition. His character is impeccable. He's honest and cheerful, and I feel at ease when I'm with him. Meeting him confirmed that divorcing my ex-husband was the right decision. The 2 years spent with that despicable liar made me a stronger woman. From now on, I want to cherish the happy times with my partner even more. Now, I believe there's nothing more valuable than spending time with someone you can trust.